How is it like wakati wenyu? Because siku hizi mimi naangalia wazazi wanasema hii ndio mnaita dating. Wakati wetu haikukuwa hivi, sijui this is how you are treating somebody, this is how you are taking somebody out. Sijui kwa tunapelekana Uhuru Gardens, Uhuru Park, wapi. How is it like your time?
You know, I have also tried to do research on dating, going beyond even before my time. So my eldest sisters, my eldest brothers, how did you meet your wife? How did it work? But there were, I don't think fundamentally things have changed. What has changed is maybe the methods of communication and the rest. Because once you reach a certain age, you start having that attraction to the opposite sex. So the question is, if you are a coward, then do you ask her and then allay it for a... Because, you know, dates in those days, I'm trying to remember about my time when I went to the village and there were guys who knew a lot of things, the way things are done. I was told that for me to meet a girl, I needed to meet a guy called Kaunda. His real name was Kaundu, but he changed it to Kaunda because he used to learn in Nairobi. But he was one of those very aggressive. So I remember him taking me out to talk to the girls, and I didn't know how do you deal with the opposite sex, because in home, the parents never prepared you how you meet a girl and how you deal with her. You learned it from your peers. So he's the one who was coaching me. This is what you tell her. And of course, every time you got a lot of objections. So it was a crude way. The parents never really played part in the way you met. The people were the older boys that knew how to train you on how to meet the girls. Going back to my school, and I think that was another good school, was a school called Kapsabet. That is where I can say I started meeting girls in a much more formal way. And once you reached Form 3, they allowed us to go, I can't remember whether it was once a year or 3 times a year. I think it was about 3 times a year, for a dance with our school of Chepterit.
Sister school.
Yeah. And it was a Catholic school. This one was much more Protestant, the Kapsabet High School, and the headmaster that were dealing with it. But they had an arrangement, we would go there. But I remember even when we went out, because they would now bring in the dancing, the sisters would be walking around with a ruler, making sure that you did not get close. So they kept on telling you, move.
Social distance.
As you dance. So we all danced from a distance. So after that, you know what happened? And I think they were training us to be responsible in a different ways. So when you went back, there was a weekend you could go and then meet the girls. So we went through the valleys and went there and waited. She would come. I don't even know what we used to talk about those days. And that time you would be carrying a letter, which is handwritten. I made a mistake. Most of the letters that I was exchanging with the girls, I burnt them at a certain time. I wish I had kept those letters.
What, the letters of rejection?
But some of them, you know, just to make sure that they even loved you more. They were very poetically written, the way you are like a flower, like whatever it is, all those nice things. You really did that. Some of the people even put talcum powder inside the envelope. So when it came out, it had the smell and there was the powder falling off.
Or even petals of a flower, right?
And then you would get even a flower, squeeze it in flat and say it is a rose. It
Actually, we should try this again.
It used to be very romantic. So I know I wrote many letters and I got many rejections. But
that's probably why you burnt them.
Yeah, maybe that's why I burnt them. But we did that. So as you grow up, you start kind of improving your techniques, you know, because you start on a crude way. But you realize that even going to church became also a nice place to go and meet the girls, because the parents think that you are nice.
Oh.
You then join the choirs, not because you love the choirs,
You see,
but because there you know very well you brush shoulders with the girls. Then one time she may say, my parents are away, can you come? And then you sneak there, even if it is raining, through the dark. There were no torches and there were no street lights. Fall through places in the mud. Sometimes you have mud even in the hair, but you have to reach there. Just maybe to touch her hand and say, I visited her. And you go home feeling, I have really done a major score.
So where were you taking people out? Like taking each other out? Come on, nowadays, you know, meet a girl, maybe in the cinema, you go.
You know, in terms of sophistication, when we were in high school, there was nothing beyond meeting in the school dances. When we left the high school, I remember we started now going to what they call night clubs. So when I came to Nairobi and I was in Strathmore and we started getting girlfriends and we had some little money, we would go to a club like 1900. Did you ever hear about a club called 1900?
I only know of 1924. I think
There was
1824 Langata Road.
Very popular. It is where now the, what do you call this tall hotel is?
Where?
Near on the Waiyaki Way.
Is that not
Those two GMC.
Oh, okay.
GTC, just there. That's where it was. There was, if you needed the Congolese music, there was one on what is Moi Avenue called Hallians. If you're a bit more sophisticated, you went to Starlight. Starlight is exactly where the anti-corruption building is. That's it.
That's Valley Road.
And that Starlight was a church that later was bought and converted into a nightclub. So those things used to happen. Then when we became, you know, at the university and I was becoming a bit more sophisticated, I had a motorbike. I could take a girl to the small world.
You are untouchable.
A small world.
On Mombasa Road?
On Mombasa Road.
It
lasted that long?
It has been there for a very long time.
But you must have been the cool guy by then if you could take a girl at that place.
Oh yeah. Small world was famous. If you became sophisticated, a glass of water. Yeah. If you could take to small world, where else? You know, there were not that many clubs, but they were there. But you know, the irony of it is that when we went to a nightclub, like when I was in university, we would walk back. There was nothing like a taxi. You couldn't afford. We just walked back to university, wherever it was. So most of the places were there. Then there were small drinking places, like there were a few of them opposite Jivanji. Those were mainly more drinking places.
Okay.
Then guys who are much more adventurous wanted to indulge in extra curriculum, like going to where the prostitutes were. Then the River Road area was where you found all those particular places.
So River Road,
I think they still exist.
Yeah, they still exist.
They still exist, yeah.
I think there's a time I had a very interesting experience along River Road. So I was just walking next to where, was it not a Kamba bus, but Guardian used to have the office there.
Yeah.
So a certain lady just pulled me. Akanipandisha kwa stairs zingine hapo. Watu wanaochi hizi vitu mnajua watu wa River Road. You know vitu zinafanyika kwa hiyo corridor. So kupanda pale nikishashikwa na wasichana wawili. I had to start shouting, I am a pastor, mniwache.
Pastor doing what? Pastor doing what there?
No, see, I was on the main road. Wakanivuruta hapo ati hata 30 bob. Ningesema 30 bob tena ya nini? So Jagi, so dating life, of course it was fun. Every generation experienced it in their own way.